Paul Johnson there of the IFS, and of course it came on the Treasury short-term predictions of what would happen if we leave. Matt Hancock, on this Treasury short-term report, it said if we left the EU we would fall into recession. How deep does it say that recession would be?
Well, it says that there will be a recession, as in more than 2 quarters of negative economic growth.
But how deep? How bad would it be?
Well, it'd be bad for people who lost their jobs.
But how, I mean, we lost 7% of our GDP after the 2008 financial crash. How much is the report predicting this time? Well,
the report predicts that the recession would be 4 quarters long, and that growth would go negative. And it comes
by how much?
Well, there's numbers for each of the 4 quarters.
Yeah, how much are they?
Between 0 and -1 in each one of the 4 quarters.
No, it's not actually.
It is actually.
The central forecast is that for the period you predict a recession, the loss of GDP is 0.1% per quarter. Well, I'll repeat that again, 0.1%.
And what
That's
about?
it.
And what about? And 0.1% negative involves hundreds of thousands of people losing their jobs, people losing their livelihoods. And the key is this: it's not just the Treasury, it's the Bank of England.
No, but let's stick with the Treasury because that's what you're responsible for. But you say hundreds of thousands of jobs.
Yeah.
But we only lost several 100,000 jobs when we lost 7% of our GDP after 2008. So why would a 0.1, and I say again, 0.1% fall in GDP in any one quarter mean the loss of hundreds of thousands of jobs?
Because that's what the Treasury forecast says, and it's backed up.
No, I know that, but I'm asking you why.
Because when the economy goes into recession, people lose their jobs.
Not by 0.1%.
Yes, it's true. Yes,
well, let's move on.
And let me know.
Let's move on to another question, because this 0.1% fall in GDP, you're quite right, for 4 quarters, but it's 0.1 each quarter. That also assumes that the government and the Bank of England take no remedial action, do nothing to counter recession. Correct?